Hey guys, in this video, we're going to talk about 7 baby steps for you to build your wealth this 2023. Now, of course, you're watching this video, maybe you came from my other previous videos, or if you're just watching this, from your feed. Welcome, my name is Alec, and I'm starting to really invest in my personal finance and making sure that I build my wealth the right way. And I'll be sharing with you in this video the 7 steps that I use based from all the books that I've read, all the videos that I watched, and I've compiled them to what works for me. Okay, again, all of the things that I'm going to share are based from the coaches, the mentors, the people that I talk with, and of course, my own experience. So maybe this will work for you, maybe not. My suggestion is do your own research, find what fits for you, find what works for you, and just do it. Try it out. Okay, you don't need to learn all of the things in the world and then start acting on it. You just need a couple of tips, and then once you start being consistent with those tips, it will make a huge difference in your life. And again, maybe a caution to everyone: you can hire a financial advisor, you can ask an insurance agent to talk to you about insurance, talk to a real estate agent with all of those things, find someone, a coach, a mentor to help you out. But at the end of the day, you are still responsible for all of your decisions. So be smart with it, be wise with it, but most importantly, be responsible with your own life. So let's start with the first baby step in building your wealth this 2023. It starts with you building your emergency fund. I know you've been hearing it over and over and over again, but it really begins with that. And it's called a baby step because it really is the first step in building your wealth. If you cannot save 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses or maybe even your income, then you won't be able to achieve financial freedom. Okay, this small task, and this is one of the hardest tasks I could say when you're starting, right? Maybe a lot of you guys are watching right now, starting, don't know where to start. This is where you start. You build your emergency fund. Okay, so as much as you can, maybe 10%, put that away. Try to save up for your emergency fund, and you do it as fast as you can because this is a baby step. One thing that I learned about finances is that it's a process, and it's like going up a ladder. You can't go to step number 2, step number 3, step number 4 unless you get to step number 1. And the step number 1 here is building your emergency fund. And why is building your emergency fund important? Mainly because you want to save up for the things that might go wrong. I think one of the biggest quotes that I got from the book Psychology of Money is that you need to plan for things not going according to your plan. Okay, so saving up for an emergency fund, putting money aside for emergencies, right? For rainy days. I think there's a saying that you gotta save up for the rainy days. Why? Because the rainy days will come. You can't say that the rainy days won't come. Winter won't come. Winter season won't come. Rainy season won't come. It's not gonna be like that. It's always going to come. Crisis, maybe in another form, not another pandemic, but there's always going to be something. Maybe it's a recession. There's always going to be a cycle. It's a cycle. Life's a cycle. Based on history, you can study history. It repeats it over and over again. It's a pattern. So rainy days will come. The only question is, are you prepared for it? Right? Some of us, including me, personally, when the pandemic happened, we didn't have any emergency fund. Okay? So I had a few money on the side investing on stocks. I had my own platform. I invested in some blue chip stocks here in the Philippines. And then when the pandemic happened, my mother lost her job. Okay. And then we needed money. Why? Because we didn't have any savings. We didn't know where to get money. How would we eat? How would we survive? And so I had to pull out my stocks, which is sad because we didn't have any emergency fund to protect us from those kinds of emergency. And I think 60 to 70% of people, maybe even 80% here in the Philippines, don't have an emergency fund. And it's literally the first step in building your financial freedom, building your wealth this 2023. So ask yourself, do you have an emergency fund? So maybe save up 3 to 6 months of your expenses, maybe income. As long as you put money on the side, build your fund, and that's the first step. That's the baby step. Okay, you gotta prepare for those kinds of things because you'll never know. Some of us, for example, if you're driving a car and then the car breaks down, if it breaks down, you gotta pay like 10,000, 20,000, even 30,000 pesos. And now you don't have money to put food on the table. Now you don't have money for your trip. Now you don't have money for your savings, for your investment, for the bigger things in life, because you don't have an emergency fund. And emergencies will happen. It is stated in Murphy's Law. You know Murphy? Like Murphy, the man, he talked about when something can go wrong, it will. So if it will go wrong, the only question is, are you prepared for it? Do you have your emergency fund? I cannot emphasize more of building your emergency fund. And the moment that I started building my emergency fund, I could easily sleep at night compared to waking up and asking, I don't have any money. Even though my money's not yet that big when I was starting, when I have my emergency fund, knowing that I still have money in the bank, something bad happens, I'm all right. I can manage. I can find a way. There's funds to be pulled out. If it's a life and death situation, I can manage. So are you prepared? Can you sleep at night knowing that when you wake up tomorrow, something bad happens, you're gonna be okay? That's the first one. Only after you build your emergency fund, you start going to the other baby steps that I'm gonna show with you. And now let's proceed with the baby step number 2. The baby step number 2 is clear your debt. And one of the best ways that I use as well is using the snowball method. So the snowball method basically talks about you clearing your debt in a way that you list down all of your debt, from the biggest debt that gives the biggest interest, and then you list down all the other debt, and then you pay the minimum for the other debts, and the biggest one, that's your priority. You pay most of your debt on that first one, and then you snowball the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth until you are cleared. And you start off with the biggest interest rate. Why? Because if you're only just paying the interest rate for some debt and then you start to balance it all out, you're still just gonna be stuck in that loop over and over again. So use the snowball method, just basically listing down all of the people that I need to pay, and then starting off with who do I need to pay first, so that it's one person off my list, 2 people off my list, 3 people off my list. And now I can proceed to the other people with, not too much urgency or not really having too much interest. Now, what happens if you're cleared with your debt? You stay away from debt as long as you can, okay? There's an old saying that says, the borrower is a slave to the lender. You don't want to be a slave. You're not meant to be a slave. So make sure that you are on the other side, which is the lender, not the borrower, okay? Because the borrower is a slave to the lender. Right? So you want to stay off debt as long as you can. You don't want to buy a car, you just got off debt, and then you want to buy a car. So you digging your own grave again. You don't want that, right? If you don't have enough liquid savings to buy the car or the house in cash, you're not ready to buy yet, okay? There's a lot of really enticing debt or, loans out there. Banks are giving it out. People are going to be more enticed to do that. But don't do it, not yet. Okay, only do that if you're gonna get a loan for something that will also give you assets. That will be an asset. But we'll talk about that in another video. As for now, you're doing your baby steps. Stay away from debt as long as you can. That's the second step. The third step is invest. And where do you invest? In yourself. So building your wealth starts with yourself. Why? If you go on YouTube, you're gonna start to look at different ways to invest. You can look at crypto, stocks, all of these things, trading. Maybe you can watch a couple of videos, get a good insider information, good insider tip, and then you start to invest, and then you hit one. And if you're always going to be like that, it's gonna be too much of a risk. So instead of investing all of those money right now, yes, you can earn maybe in the short term better gains. But if we're playing the long game, and investing is a long game, we're playing chess here. A lot of people are playing checkers. We're playing chess here. We're looking at the end game, the long game, right? So you want to make sure you win in the long game. And how do you win? You start to invest in yourself. Because when you start investing in yourself, here's the thing. Not a lot of people see this, but it's also compounding, right? And you're only going to get paid in our society based on the value that you're giving out to the society. So maybe you're getting paid 30,000, 40,000 because that's the skills that you have. So if you invest in your skill, let's say you invest in a public speaking course, a social media course, okay, which I will be also creating very soon. You gotta wait on the links. If it's available, I'm gonna put down the links down below, right? But you gotta invest in skills that will make you a better salesman, number 1. Number 2, creator. If you can create a product, that's good, right? Invest in courses, in masterminds, even if you pay a lot, so that you can just be around people that can give you advice. That will be a huge payoff. Okay, so invest in yourself so that you can be better in creating, in selling, and third is in leading. If you can be better in those 3 things, I can promise you, you can start your own business and you can earn more compared to just investing and waiting for your money to grow on the short term and then, pull it back. You don't want that. You want it to be big time, long game, long term. You want to win at the end, playing the end game. So invest in yourself. Okay, the best investment that you can make is still in yourself. Buy books, invest in courses. The links are down below. Yes, I'm sorry, but I'm selling to you guys right now. The links are available down below. You go check it out. Okay, invest in yourself. Because I can guarantee you one thing. You will be the same person where you are right now, 5 years from now. You still earn the same amount, except for the books that you read and the people that you meet. So are you investing in expanding your mind and your connections and your network? Because your network is your net worth. Invest in yourself. So the next baby step, number 4, is to get insurance. Like maybe a lot of people are not really pushing this, but I'm gonna push this to as many people as I can. Why? Because one thing is for sure, one thing is guaranteed, I'm gonna die. And I don't know about you, maybe you're immortal, but if you're just like me, a human being, I know for a fact that you're gonna die as well. And we don't wanna talk about it, it's morbid, it's scary, but it's the truth. One day, we're gonna die, and the scary part about this is we don't know when. So let's say you invest in stocks, right? You invest in starting your own business, you don't get insurance, right? And then next week you die. Knock on wood, it won't happen, but who knows, okay? So I'd rather have a small amount of my money building my insurance, paying up for my insurance, so that when something happens, I'm covered. I'll be able to give money to the people that I care about, whether it's my family, my loved ones, right? Because we'll never know. So the baby step is you gotta get insurance. The best part about this is right now, there's a lot of insurance that can also provide you with investments. So that's a good thing, right? For as low as like 3,000 pesos, you can get that. Okay, so there's a lot of ways that you could start investing, but at the same time, get insurance because you'll never know. You will never know. So building that at an early age. And plus, if you get insurance, if you're starting in your 20s, it will be much affordable to get insurance versus when you get older because the risk of you dying, increases as well. So pay that off while you're young and then you start proceeding with the big investments, big risks, and when you get older. So get insurance. After you get your insurance, you proceed to number 5, which is building your retirement fund or your educational fund. Right now, you start investing, save up money for your educational fund. If you plan on having a family in the future, you want to send your family to, go to the top schools in your country, take a look at how much you'll actually need to pay for them to be in those schools. So build that fund as early as now. Look at different investment opportunities for you to build that fund. Or if you don't want to, send your children to school, maybe build up your retirement fund. So that when everything else fails, when you hit 60 or maybe 50 or maybe even 40, you have money to enjoy your life. Because you don't want to be working for the rest of your life. No one wants that, right? I believe that the sole purpose of money is buying time because time is more important than money. If you lose money, you can gain it back. If you lose time, you can't get it back. So use money to leverage to have more time in this world, okay? And you can do that by building your retirement fund. So that's the baby step number 5. Build your retirement fund or educational fund. Secure your future. So the next one is actually start embracing risk. Now, when you pay your debt, you have your emergency fund, you have insurance, you're building your retirement fund, you're building your educational fund. Now it's time to start embracing bigger risk. Start that business. Start investing in crypto, investing in stocks or like do trading and like whatever business, real estate that you want to invest in, go ahead. Now it's safer. Why? Because no matter what happens with the economy, the market, the industry, you're gonna be okay because you built your foundation assets with the 5 different steps that you did. Now you start to open yourself to more investment opportunities that will allow you to give higher gains, but at the same time, put you in higher risk, right? So now you can start embracing risk because your foundation is solid. Your security is secured. It's solid as well, right? So now you can start embracing risk. And the 7th baby step of building your wealth this 2023 is to give money away. You heard it right. You give money away. And this is the best part about building your wealth this 2023, right? You can start with a small amount and then it, gets bigger and bigger. I believe that there's only 3 things that you need to do with wealth. Number 1 is you need to have fun with it, right? It's not just you saving up for the future. It's also you using it for the things that you need, but also for the things that you want. So you need to have fun with it, okay? Second thing that you need to do with wealth is to invest it. You invest your wealth, invest your money. And the third thing that you can do with your wealth is to give it. You give away your money. And it's not wealth that we want, it's freedom that we want, but more importantly, it's fulfillment, right? It's fulfillment in the things that we're doing. You want to have the highest fulfillment? Start giving away your money. I believe that the biggest givers are the biggest winners. And Winston Churchill said that you make a living by what you get, and you make a life with what you give. So start giving away money. Start with the small ones, right? Those who can be trusted with little can also be trusted with much. Start giving away small amounts so you can grind your way to bigger amounts, giving away bigger amounts, right? You don't know the happiness that when someone who's in need of money would come to you and say, I need money for an operation. I'm gonna get kicked out. I need money. And then you go home, you secretly send them money, and they'd be surprised they got money. They would think it's from God. Maybe it's God acting through you or the universe acting through you, but the fulfillment in doing that, you'll be surprised on how it'd be fulfilling for you. Start giving away money. I honestly believe that if I want to earn 1 million pesos a month, I need to be able to give 100,000 a month. Things. That's my challenge to myself. Maybe you could use that challenge in yours. Because the point in life is, how much impact are you actually leaving? It's not how much money you get. It's how many people you impact with the money and the wealth that you receive. So those are the 7 steps, 7 baby steps that you can start right now in 2023 to build your wealth. And you may go to other videos, you may watch it over and over again. But here's the thing, nothing will change unless you start to change. So start acting right now. Build your wealth right now, 2023. It's going to be your year. Make it your year. Don't just declare it, make it happen. Don't depend on any other thing. Start acting right now. The best time to start fixing your finances was yesterday. The next best time is today. And there's no perfect age. There's no perfect time. Of course, if you're watching this and if you're in your 19, 20, 21, 22, you're in a very, very good position to take advantage of the next years that will come into your life. When you're in your 30s and your 40s and you're just starting now, there's literally no point in looking back and saying you wish you could have done more. The past is the past. You move forward. The only time that you have is now. And moving forward, the best thing that you can do is to just make better decisions. No point in debating, no point in wishing, hoping. Make it happen now. Take action for what you need to take. What you need to do, just do it. So again, that's going to be all. This is the 7 steps to build your wealth this 2023. Hope that helps. Again, my name is Alec Cuenca. If you have any questions, write them down in the comment section. I would love to answer all of your questions. And if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Click that like button and subscribe if you want to watch more. And yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Always remember that you're loved, you're enough, and you're capable of amazing things. And I'll see you guys next video. Peace.